Let me ask you something. Have you ever dreamed of being rich? I mean, who hasn't, right? But what if I told you that being rich might not be what you really want? It's a crazy thought, but it's at the core of the book, The Psychology of Money. And today, we're going to break down one of its biggest ideas.
All right, so let's just dive right in and tackle this huge myth that honestly sits at the heart of how most of us think about money and success. You know the look. You see it everywhere, right? The fancy car, designer clothes, that massive house. I mean, this is the picture of success that's sold to us constantly, and it's what so many people spend their entire life chasing after. But here's the real question, the one we're going to dig into. Is the person driving that Ferrari actually secure? Does all that flashy spending really tell you anything about their financial health? I think the answer is going to surprise you. So what is the real difference then? Well, it all comes down to a really simple but honestly pretty profound idea. What you can see versus what you can't. Okay, check this out. This comparison just lays it all out so clearly. Being rich, that's the stuff you see, right? It's all about high income, big spending, the visible luxury. But being wealthy? Well, that's everything happening under the hood, below the surface. It's totally invisible. We're talking high savings, financial assets that are actually growing for you, and the big one, freedom and options. So here's the key, and you really gotta get this. Wealth is not the car in the driveway. Wealth is the money you didn't spend. It's the stocks, the bonds, the real estate, all those assets working for you quietly in the background, building real, actual security. And this leads us to a kind of weird but really powerful idea. Real wealth, true wealth, is almost always invisible. It's hidden. And that's exactly why what you see on the surface can be so misleading. This quote just nails it. Think about it. Every single dollar you spend on a flashy car or a watch is a dollar that can no longer go to work for you. It really boils down to this simple truth. Being rich is all about spending, but being wealthy, that's about owning. Let's make this real. I bet you can picture someone like this. You know, that person who lives pretty modestly, drives a normal car, nothing super flashy. But what you don't see is that they might be quietly building an enormous portfolio of investments. Their wealth is completely invisible, just growing every single day, totally hidden from everyone. Now flip that. Think about the other person, the one who's always showing off their success, right? They've got the newest gadget, the flashiest watch. And here's the crazy part. That very same person could be living paycheck to paycheck, all their money just flying out the door to keep up that look, with absolutely nothing left over to build any real, lasting wealth. And that brings us to another huge point. We're all obsessed with getting a bigger salary, right? But building wealth, it has so much less to do with the size of your paycheck and so much more to do with your habits. No, seriously, it's totally true. Someone earning an average salary but who saves consistently, that person can easily become wealthier than a top doctor or lawyer who saves nothing. See, it's not about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep. It's about the size of that gap between your income and your spending. And the number one enemy of creating that gap is this sneaky little trap called lifestyle inflation. It's that super common thing we all do. As we earn more, we spend more. And it just keeps you stuck running on a financial treadmill, getting nowhere. Okay, so look at this example. Before the raise, you see there's this small $5,000 gap for savings. Hey, it's not a ton, but it's something, right? That's the seed. That's what can grow into real wealth. But then, boom, a big raise comes along. The salary jumps up by 30 grand. But look what happens to the spending. It goes right up along with it. The savings gap? Still just $5,000. They're earning way more money, but they aren't building wealth any faster. That right there is lifestyle inflation in a nutshell. So, why even bother? Why go through all the trouble of saving and investing? Why fight that urge to look rich? Well, because the prize, the real reward, is something so much more valuable than any car or watch could ever be. Look, the money itself isn't the goal. A big pile of cash, that's not the point. It's just a tool. We have to look past the numbers in our bank account and ask ourselves, what is this all for? What are we really trying to get? And this is it. This is the real prize. Wealth buys you freedom. It gives you the ability to wake up one morning and say, you know what? I can do whatever I want with my time today. That's power. And that freedom, man, it means everything. It means choosing work because you enjoy it, not just because you need the paycheck. It means taking a year off to go traveling. It means being there for your family. Or even just living without that constant, nagging financial stress in the back of your mind. That's what wealth really gives you. It gives you options. All right, let's bring it all home. Here's what you really need to remember. First, rich is spending, wealthy is saving and owning. Second, real wealth is what you don't see. It's invisible. Third, your habits matter way more than your salary. And finally, the most important one, the goal isn't the money. The goal is freedom. So I'll leave you with one last question to chew on. Just for a second, forget about the fancy car, the big house, all that stuff. If you had complete, total control over your own time, what would you do with it? Whatever your answer is, that's the real goal. That's what you should be working towards.